All right, let's write some code for Fifi. We are going to first set up what's called a broadcast block. And the broadcast block, oh, we also need a green flag. The broadcast block works like a trigger, kind of like the green flag block or the when I am clicked block. It basically is going to send a message for some code to run, but the broadcast block is able to send a message to other sprites and the stage, so we can use it to help our characters take turns talking and moving, or like tell them when to do things, basically. So to use the broadcast block, we need to name the broadcast or the message. And so I'm just going to name a message 1, message 2. You can be more creative than that. Okay, so there's message 1. And then we're going to pull some blocks together. So we're going to need switch to costume, go to, wait. I'll go ahead and pause and pull these together, and you do the same. Okay, so I've pulled the blocks together. I've entered all the values that I saw. And then I'm going to choose my, oh, shoot. I just put all this in Rover. Okay, so if you put code in the wrong sprite, you can drag the whole set, or this will actually duplicate it also. You can drag the whole script, and it might be kind of hard to see, but if I'm hovering over Fifi and the button is changing color, when it changes color, I can go ahead and let go. It's actually going to keep it in Rover, but it will also add the code to Fifi. So now I'll leave it in Rover because I think we're going to do something pretty similar for Rover, but it was definitely in the wrong place. So Fifi, I'm going to choose her costume. And then you choose whatever costume you used for Fifi, so it might not be Cat 2. And then make sure that you have your broadcast message at the bottom. You could go on and add code here, but in this case, that's gonna be a script, and then I'll make separate scripts for some other things. So what's happening here is when I start the movie with my green flag block, it's gonna make sure Fifi is in the right costume. It's going to teleport her instantly to a certain location, and then it'll wait, and then it will make her glide to another location, make her talk, and then it's going to send kind of an invisible message out. So if I click the green flag, so right now Rover has the same code as Fifi, which is why they're both talking and moving at the same time. So we'll fix that. Next, you're going to add code to Rover. These blocks, very similar. You're going to have to get rid of some of them if you did what I did and duplicated it. And then we're going to make some more code for Rover that is a when I receive. So the when I receive is the thing that literally receives the message. So over here in Rover, I'm going to grab the when I receive, and then I still need to fix this. Remember, that's not right. I'm going to receive the message 1 that Fifi is going to send out. So when Fifi is done with her initial code, Rover is going to hear the message that she's sending out, and then whatever code we put under here is going to start running. So in the next slide, it shows you what to put under that message. And then when Rover's done talking, we're going to send out another message, and that will trigger something else to happen because we'll receive it in another sprite and have some code run. So it's basically like you're kind of step by step setting up the action, kind of like a director. And then we're going to do just more code and more code and more messages. And then I'll come back, and once I put all that stuff in, and I will show you what it looks like when it's all together. Okay, so I have entered all that code, and it's time for some final touches. So the code, Fifi's code should have all of this, Rover should have all of this, Mooney should have all of this. So you can just kind of double check. One thing that's kind of helpful is if you have code all over the place, like you've just added it in willy-nilly, like I do all the time, you can right-click on the scripting background, that gray background, and say cleanup, and it will line all your code up nicely for you. I think I might have mentioned that before. Okay, so now you need to, if you haven't yet, click the green flag, play through everything, and make any adjustments that you might need. So here's some examples of adjustments that you might need. So when I click the green flag, oh, I forgot to take, oh, poop. Hold on. Okay, I forgot to select all my costumes, so none of the costumes are showing. Okay, let's try this again. Here we go. So right away, I can see some problems. Rover is way too big, and he's like upside down. Fifi is maybe, well, it's hard to tell. Fifi might be going too far to the right, but with Rover that big, who knows? So for Rover, I am going to grab let's go to him, grab a point and direction block and put it up at the top within the first three things here. There's usually like a point and direction, a go-to, and a costume for most sprites. You're going to want that. This will make sure he's standing upright when it starts. This gives him his costume, and then this tells him where to start. Clean up so we can see all of our code again. And then also for Rover, I'm going to make him smaller. So under looks, there is here we go, set size to a percentage. This is 100%, so maybe like, we'll try 50. Let's click it and see what happens. That's better. That's about right. So I'm going to grab this and put it in this top kind of section because that's what we want to happen at the very start for him. Okay, so let's try this again. Much better. Although I'm also noticing that Rover is facing the wrong way. Also, the cat ends up under his butt. So I'm going to play around with this go-to for Fifi and Rover. Maybe Rover needs to be a little further right. So my X would be bigger. So 250 maybe. Oh, sorry. I'm doing that. I should change the glide. So 200. It ends up at 50, so maybe like 100. We'll try that. And then Fifi needs to go, okay, let's just stop this. Fifi needs to go further to the left, so maybe like, I'm going to try negative 100 and see how that looks. Okay, here we go. Okay, better. Okay, so oopsie. Also, what I'm noticing is Rover is facing the wrong way. So you might remember from Click Alonso, if I go into costumes and I right click on Rover and say edit, I can flip him around. This only works on non-SVG costumes. I could also like draw on him, give him a mask or I don't know, whatever. But I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, here we go. There we go. So Fifi talks, Rover talks. Fifi's speech bubbles are a little bit under Rover, but I think it's probably okay. Oh yeah, I made Mooney a crab instead of a bunny. It's fine. And there they go. Goodbye. Oh, see, and then I can still see Mooney, so maybe I would look for the end where they're gliding and change the Y to something even further down. You can go as far down as you want, doesn't really matter. And then see if that makes him completely disappear. Okay, so that's the idea of how you're going to make your movie. You're going to kind of use broadcast and receive to send and receive messages to trigger different action to happen at different times. Add in your dialogue, add in any costume changes that you want. Oh, what happened to the stage? Oh, poopy. Here we go. Whatever. I don't really care which one I start with and which one I end. So here, this is going to tell the stage to start with this costume. And then at the very end, that last message, when they start I think that's when they start slowly gliding down. It should change the background. Okay, let's try this one more time. There they go. There we go. Okay, and then that's the background changed. So you can use that background switch when you send a certain message. That can be a scene change. So you switch the background, maybe you move the characters on or off the screen. Um, yeah, so that can help with that. Okay, this was a long video. Thanks for sticking with it, and that is all.